Hi, this is take two. Love you. Um, so I'm gonna read you some facts, and hopefully you can sleep with these. It's gonna be okay, honey. Love you. Okay. One second. Oh yeah. Step. Sorry about that. Always being a little. Bleh. There's a liquid that you can breathe. It's called perfluorohexane. Animals can be submerged in the bath of this without drowning. Feeding curry to a sheep reduces the amount of methane in his farts by 40%. That's a weird one. During a conversation, each speaker's turn averages 2 seconds, and the pause in between is only 200 milliseconds. That figure is nearly universal no matter the language. Cold showers have more benefits than hot or warm showers. These include circulation, weight loss, and less depression. Despite being landlocked, Mongolia has a navy consisting of 7 men in a vessel called the Sukh-Batar III, stationed on Lake Kovaskal. During the Second World War, German tank drivers would drive their vehicles over camel droppings, thinking it was good luck. In Alabama, it's illegal to participate in shooting, hunting, gaming, card games, or racing on Sundays, and the fines are $10 to $100. Originally, bumper cars were not supposed to hit each other. Drivers were actually supposed to avoid crashing with all the driving. The first company to patent the bumper car was 1920 Dodgem. A woman was elected to the House of Representatives 4 years before women won the right to vote. In the Netherlands version of Sesame Street, instead of Big Bird, they have a bluebird named Pino. He was later established as Big Bird's cousin. The full Bible has been translated into over 3,000 languages. Among these include fictional ones like Elvish, Klingon, and Na'vi. The voice of Stargazer in Mass Effect 3 was done by Buzz Aldrin. The first 4th of July celebration was in 1777. Justin Bieber's first tweet was at 8:27 p.m., May 11th, 2009, but really, who cares about him? Snakes and lizards both molt out of their old skin as they grow. Investigators have come to the conclusion that dinosaurs may have done the same. That would be weird. Zebras only have one toe on each foot. This would be their hoof. That's the same for other hoofed animals. Well, some. Humans have been performing dentistry since 7000 BC, making it one of the oldest professions. Originally, the Pokemon Vulpix was supposed to be called Foxfire. The first ever documented feature film was made in Australia in 1906. Ancient Roman surgeons were trained to block out the screams of human pain. William Hung, made famous for his appearance on American Idol, singing She Bangs as a 73rd generation descendant of Confucius. From 1937 to 1953, NBC's Today Show had a chimpanzee co-host named J. Fred Mungs. It estimated he brought in the network around $100 million. Because snow is composed of ice, it can be classified as a mineral. However, water does not, because it's liquid. Of the 9,000 Blockbuster stores that existed in the 1990s, as of this date, there's 10 still left. 7 of those are in Alaska. There is a geocache on the International Space Station, the ISS, placed in 2008. It since then has been visited by other astronauts 4 times. The Vatican had special music that was forbidden to be copied and played only twice a year. It was a secret until 150 years, until a 14-year-old Mozart heard it and transcribed it from memory. Canada eats more macaroni and cheese than any other nation in the world. Octopi only touch in situations of mating or aggression. Sometimes it's both. Scotland wanted to replicate the Parthenon, bigger and cheaper, in 1826. It was never completed and is now called Scotland's disgrace. A French general gave John Quincy Adams a pet alligator. Adams kept it in the White House bathtub and enjoyed showing it off. In 1866, the U.S. purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million by writing a check. In the Philippines, you can buy spaghetti at McDonald's. They also sell McDo, a piece of chicken. Though most think it's Italian, pepperoni is an American invention. The first use of the word is in 1919. The pumpkin is a member of the cucurbit family, which are gourds, such as cucumbers and squash. Any prime number higher than 3, when squared and subtracted by 1, will always turn out to be a multiple of 24. Sorry, I'm trying to get more feet. Stop. Okay. When dogs are first born, they're completely blind and cannot hear anything. The first sense which they develop is a sense of touch. Margherita pizza uses tomato, mozzarella, and basil to represent the Italian flag. It was originally to honor the Queen of Italy in 1890. Sudan has more pyramids than any other country with 255. They outnumber Egyptian pyramids by twice the amount. The money for the Statue of Liberty came from fundraising, auctions, a lottery, and boxing matches in Europe. In the US, the statue cost the French around $250,000, which today would be $5.5 million. Well, not all hamsters are small. Although some hamsters are as small as 2 to 4 inches, the largest is over a foot. The hand and footprints in front of the Chinese theater tradition started accidentally when the silent film actress Norma Talmadge stepped on wet concrete. Snakes can help predict earthquakes. They can sense it from 75 miles away and up to 5 days before it happens. Soviet Russia needed lighthouses on their uninhabited north coast, so they built automated lighthouses with small nuclear reactors. Animals yawn based on how large their brain is. The bigger the brain, the longer they yawn. Before Apple bought Siri, it was originally going to be released as an app for Android and BlackBerry. Approximately 1 in every 2,000 babies already have a tooth when they are first born. The Young American Township in Minnesota has a population of less than 1,000, but more than 20 zip codes. The United States Department of Agriculture says the official definition of a sandwich is at least 35% cooked meat and no more than 50% bread. Nutella was invented during World War II when an Italian pastry maker mixed hazelnuts into chocolate to extend his ration. The original name for Xbox was DirectX, designed to show how Microsoft's DirectX graphics could improve the market. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own just one guinea pig. This is because guinea pigs are social animals and is considered abuse if they are alone. Walter Hunt, a man from America, invented the safety pin in 1849. The highest recorded fall without a parachute happened in 1972 at 33,333 feet. The victim, Vesna Vulerovic, was in the hospital for 16 months after the fall. A mason in the 1700s, Jerusalem, left his wooden ladder behind after doing some work on the church, and now it can't be moved without the agreement and permission of 6 different Christian leaders. Eminem's mother filed $11 million defamation lawsuit against him because of his lyrics about her. She settled for $25,000, and literally $23,354.25 of that went to her lawyer. She barely made it out with $1,000. San Marino is the 5th smallest country in the world and the 3rd smallest in Europe. A woman faked her entire tragedy and the loss of her husband during the 9/11 attacks and became the president of the support network in New York. The Postal Service got its name because they originally used USPS to send each other music tracks because of conflicting schedules. December 3rd is known as Roof Over Your Head Day, a day to be grateful for what we have, however little it is. Alaska is the only state in America that can be typed on one row of the traditional English keyboard. Michael Jackson's shiny glove was just a modified golf glove. The spiked collar was invented by the ancient Greeks to protect their dogs from wolf attacks. Mr. and Mrs. originated from the words master and mistress. The only difference between kosher salt and table salt is grain size. Kosher is smaller. Invented in 1923, Q-tips were originally called baby gays. Then Q-tip baby gays, then just Q-tip. The Q stands for quality. 1912 saw the last Olympic gold medals made entirely of gold. Every 10 years, the human skeleton repairs and renews itself. Essentially, your bones are entirely different. It did that annoying thing where, where's that? 1 second. Got it. Got it? How odd. Apple always load. This is for my baby. It's very important. I think I almost got it. There we go. The first game to be played in space was StarCraft. Daniel Barry took it with him in 1999 on the Space Shuttle mission STS-96. How fitting. Houston is the most diverse city in the U.S. As of 2010, it's 43.8% Latino, 25.6% white, 23.1% black, and 6% is Asian. May 29th is National Put a Pillow in Your Fridge Day, celebrated in Europe and the US to bring luck and wealth into the house. When water freezes to ice cubes, it'll take up 9% more volume. The little piece of paper sticking out of the Hershey's Kiss is called the Niggly Wiggly. As a child, Jet Li performed at the Chinese national wushu team for President Nixon. Nixon asked him to be a personal bodyguard, but he declined. He was still a child. Eating grapefruit can restrict the effects of 43 different kinds of medication. Some dinosaurs and animals today swallow large rocks to help churn and digest food. The word robot comes from the Czech robota. This translates to forced labor or work, basically a slave. During 1943, U.S. officials imposed a short-lived ban on sliced bread as a wartime conservation measure. It lasted less than 3 months. Abraham Lincoln loved cats. He once let one eat from the table during a formal dinner. The Canadian government isn't sure when Canada became its own sovereign state. The Supreme Court ruled that sovereignty occurred roughly sometime in the 1920s. On April 1st, 2005, NASA pulled an April Fool's prank telling the world they found water on Mars. There's a town in Oklahoma Panhandle called Hooker, and the slogan is, "It's a location, not a vocation." Japan is facing a ninja shortage. There's a high demand for ninja shows, but the dying tradition and companies have trouble time finding properly trained ninjutsu practitioners. New Jersey has 4 governors in the span of 8 days in early 2002. The shortest of those was John Farmer Jr. for 90 minutes. George Miller, the person who created Mad Max, is the same person who created Happy Feet. Surgeons who play video games for at least 3 hours a week perform 27% better and faster, and 37% fewer errors. In Svalbard, a remote Norwegian island, it's illegal to die there. It's because bodies are unable to be buried due to the permafrost. If they notice you're gonna die, they fly you back to the mainland. When cellophane was invented in 1908, it was originally intended to be used to protect tablecloths from wine spills. A Dutch startup company has been able to start training wild crows to pick up cigarette butts and put them in bins for a peanut. We feel hangry because it's harder for us to control our emotions when our brains are low on glucose. The mayor of a historical district in Alaska is a cat named Stubbs. Mayor Stubbs drinks from a catnip-laden water from a wine glass every afternoon at a local restaurant. Spam Mail got its name from the canned meat after a Monty Python skit that made fun of spam tasting horrible and being ubiquitous and inescapable. Humans, specifically, have eyes forward for the purpose of seeing in 3D. On the other hand, herbivores have eyes on the sides of their head. This is to stay vigilant and be able to watch out for any danger. I just moved to my bed. In the 1980s, the founder of Pringles, Frederick Barr, requested to be buried in the Pringles can. His children actually honored the request. You can get a headstone with a QR code called the Living Headstone. It shows pages with photographs and video biographies and comments on loved ones. While filming Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey had his crown temporarily removed. That chipped tooth is real, and a result from a childhood fight. Ginger beer is brewed and fermented with ginger, while ginger ale is merely carbonated water flavored ginger. During the first live iPhone presentation, Steve Jobs had to frequently switch phones beneath his desk. Otherwise, it would run out of RAM and crash. In Mississippi, it's considered a federal offense to dine and dash on a check over $25. In California, it's petty theft. The NYPD had a police officer follow Andre the Giant whenever he went out drinking. This was to make sure he didn't get drunk and fall. And if he fell, hopefully not on anybody. In the popular film The Godfather, the word mafia is never said because the actual mafia commanded it to. That was 300 to 400 facts. Good night. I love you so much. I love you so much.